Why needed to start running away? We're no good, it's me I'm trying to save. Treading water, we're just numbing the pain. Spin around and been stuck on a train. Pick the pieces up and turn it around. I bring the hammer down on you.
Somehow I couldn't say to you the things that make it right. The words just came out wrong and we'd end up in a fight. I guess I fucked up, messes luck up, and I blame myself. But man, I gotta let it go.
All right. Oh, man, I love that intro. Circle the Drain by Machine Head. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to The Streak. I'm your host, as always, Drake Riggs, here for the kickoff of the 2024 Streak campaign. January 2024, it is the Machine Head episode. My goodness. Whether you are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, we appreciate you being here. How is everybody doing on another Friday here? Another bi-weekly Friday as we release these installments of the show. My goodness. 2024, what a fucking year. What a great year it was. I'm so happy to kind of be to this point now in the streak. It took us, 6 episodes? So 6 months before we reached this full feature calendar here, and it feels kind of weird. It feels kind of weird at the same time, like, you know, I'll click and look back at the calendar before I start recording these, and I just have to do one click back now. We click back 1 year rather than multiple times. Feels kind of strange in a good way, but like, oh yeah, this was last year. January 2024 feels like a long time ago, just because of how eventful and positive last year was. But it's kind of weird to say that because even 2023 feels like 5 years ago. I mean, Jesus Christ. So much has changed in such a still relatively short period of time when you think about, just being a year and a half practically, 18-ish months if my math is correct there. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Machine Head, obviously the Machine Head show from January 21st, 2024 in Portland, Oregon, as you can see right here on the screen. And it's kind of funny too, I was thinking about this kind of for the last episode, and I've been asked about it a couple times into some random live streams and Q&As and whatnot, but you know how when you go to a concert, I mean, it's not great for your ears. It's not great for your hearing by any stretch of the imagination. And knock on wood, thankfully can hear pretty well still, but surely my hearing has been taking a hit with this whole fucking thing. But, and what, I kind of had this realization, I think, that what tells me that maybe it's getting worse or my ears have just gotten used to it. But you know how when you go to a concert, and let's say you're not a frequent concert goer, like let's say I used to be before the streak started, and right when it started, actually, you would go to a show and, you know, it's fucking loud. It's the loudest thing you're ever going to hear in your life because it is meant to be. All that, yada, yada. So after you're done with the show, you leave with that white noise, you know, ears ringing. They took a hit. You're damaged. You're done for. You're out for the night when it comes to your hearing. And then even the next day, it might not come back till like towards the end of the day. At least that's how I used to be. But that's gone now. I don't get the white noise after effects anymore. I'm trying to even think of when the last time that happened was, but I couldn't tell you because I wanted to mention it on this episode as I just froze on the YouTube portion of this. You guys, let me adjust for the YouTube watchers, but the audio is still good. Because, yeah, I remember, like, after all these shows that we've been talking about on the streak so far, it wasn't until, I want to say, after, I think it went away probably after the last one? Yeah, after Zakk Wylde, or I was fine after Zakk Wylde. Well, Beach Fossils wasn't a problem either, I should probably say that. But, I mean, that was not a very intensely loud show for obvious reasons because of the music style. Calabrese, of course, that one definitely fucked up the left ear for sure. But yeah, it was like by that point, you're good. The ears get used to it. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing by any means. I would imagine it cannot be good, but an observation from this whole thing that we've been doing. So on that note, of course, let's do what we do every episode, get to the first song that I heard by the band. And I could be wrong with this one. I feel pretty confident that the first Machine Head song that I ever heard, I believe it was Locust, because when did that one come out? Let me see. I should have looked this up again before starting the show, but okay, about 2010. That's what I thought. So yeah, geez, 15 years ago now. But that was around the time I even first heard of Machine Head, was Under the Locust. So that was a good old time. 2011 when that album came out. And they have already been around for quite a while and released plenty of albums since then, and I've gone back and, caught up on the catalog. But Locust, I mean, a fantastic song, one of their best, still one of my favorites, and you have that nostalgia kind of bias from the song being your audio cherry pop, I guess you could say. You could say, I don't know if it would be the right thing to say, but too late, we already said it. So shout out to Locust, shout out to Under the Locust, 14 years old, that album, which doesn't make me feel better, I'll tell you that much, but good times, good memories. And just as for the whole month of January 2024, before we get into the show specifically, you guys, I don't know if there's much outside storytelling or prefacing as we've had with the last couple months. January 2024, as the kickoff of just this big brand new life cycle, I guess you could say, for me, however I can describe it. Pretty blurry. That's a pretty blurry month. And I think it was just because of all the emotions being let go from the year directly before that. It was like, okay, we're just going to go through it and do the damn thing. Looking at the calendar here, like, I don't even remember. I don't think there were any events I went to. It doesn't look like it. That was a pretty chill one. Just financially regaining. It was a recovery month, I guess you could say. A lot of movie club stuff I'm seeing here. Shout out to Sound and Pound with my boy Alex. Pal World came out that month. Okay. Well, I mean, there was definitely actually one thing, and that's probably why this was blurry. There was a thing that did happen at the end of the month, but that is exclusively, fully a Plastic Tiara story moment. So that is not going to be talked about here. There's your tease again and your shameless plug for Plastic Tiara when that is released. But yeah, that is not getting talked about on here. That is fully book material. Jesus, that is one of kind of the craziest parts of the book. So that explains why that month is kind of blurry. Oh my goodness. To an extent anyway, but yeah, like I said, all the other stuff preceding that, because what I'm referencing happened at the very end of the month. So, yeah, not really any outside stories. So this is gonna be a short. This is gonna be a short installment of the streak, but that's okay, you guys. Let's get into it because the Machine Head show was pretty fucking awesome. This was a great kickoff to the year. The the Scar the Martyr tour. Let's scroll here. Slaughter the Martyr. My goodness. Martyr. Very clever. Very, very clever, those guys. Slaughter the Martyr, of course, a phenomenal song of theirs. But Slaughter the Martyr. We love good wordplay around here. I do, anyways. So, of course, what this would be, now that I'm thinking about it, we had Calabrese was September 2023. We jumped to September, October. October, we didn't have any Roseland shows. But then we go to the Roseland for Beach Fossils and Turnover in November. Then Zach Wild in December. And then we go back for Machine Head. Just banger after banger in the Roseland. You love to see it. Reasons why it's my favorite venue. Very personal. Been to that one more than any. I had to think about that at first. Was like, yeah, it's not even a question. Because there are more coming in the streak. I can promise you that. So this was a 3 in a row, though, which I guess I didn't really realize that. But the Roseland, always a phenomenal time. So very happy to go there whenever I get to for anything. Doesn't just have to be music. But as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, by the tour poster here, we had Machine Head opened by, or I don't know if that's proper verbiage, but we're going to use it, Fear Factory and Orbit Culture and Gates of Hell, or Gates to Hell. I always get them mixed up with Gates of Hell because that is also another band. But those were the openers, and I don't even think I remembered or knew that Fear Factory was going to be opening for Machine Head on the show. I just saw Machine Head. I was like, fuck it. I need something for January. Oh, this is like the only show. This is a great one. Sure. Because again, like I said, the beginning and end of years, terrible time for concerts. No one's on tour doing them. And I get why. Take your break around the holidays and shit. Totally get it. But, it's a struggle if you're doing what I'm doing. So, thankfully, we had at least a nice kickoff here for the Scar the Martyr from Machine Head. And I guess let me just talk about Fear Factory real quick, because I had known about Fear Factory, have known about them since probably around the same time as Machine Head, really. I know the first song I heard by Fear Factory was Cyber Waste. I believe that's what it's called. Now I have to look it up, otherwise I'm going to feel like an idiot. What is that song? That Fear Factory song. Oh, what is it? Sorry, guys. It's going to kill me if I don't look it up real quick. Is it Cyber something? What is that song called? It's something to do with the internet. What is that Fear Factory song? Everyone's probably screaming at me here. Oh my goodness. It's not coming up. It's not coming up. Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember the name. It's something silly. It's something to do with... the whole song is like about trolls, which is really funny. Internet trolls, that is, not under the bridge trolls, which... I mean, hey, maybe some of them are the same. I don't really listen to the song anymore because I listen to the shit out of it, so it's not like coming up on my Spotify. But this is gonna kill me. I might have to edit this part out. What is Jam? Oh my goodness. This was like one of their earlier tracks, I think. I have no idea. I have no idea. Somebody in the comments is going to have to help me because I can't. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Okay, we've taken too long on this. Anyway, I had heard about Fear Factory I'd heard of them around the same time with that song about the internet trolls. God damn it, I can't believe I forgot that song. I just erased it from my mind because I played the shit out of it way too much, and so I don't enjoy it too much anymore, but they have some great songs. Edge Crusher fucking rules. That was awesome to hear live, but I had no idea this whole time. I'm a massive Static X fan. I love Static X. R.I.P. No Wayne. We love Wayne. But throughout my whole Static X fandom, I had no idea that Tony Campos was also in Fear Factory. So when I saw Fear Factory perform, I was like, wait a minute. Is that Tony? And what do you know? It absolutely was, because he is also in Fear Factory. So that was kind of a funny, pleasant surprise. And I had a brief interaction with him afterward online, because he saw kind of my posts and everything, which was really cool. Getting to briefly chat with him. And then, we'll talk about Static X later in the streak, thankfully. But yeah, Fear Factory fucking crushed it. That was super fun to see them. Really cool. They are great live. But I will say this right away, or as we're talking here. Orbit Culture. I had no idea who Orbit Culture was, but good God, they brought the fucking Roseland to its knees, man. Some of the pits that we got going for Orbit Culture were nuts, and they are supremely talented. Great artists. Definitely check out Orbit Culture if you don't know about them. I was very, very pleasantly surprised when I saw these guys start just doing their thing. So big shout out to Orbit Culture. I remember it was really funny. I was up on the balcony, pre-gaming a little bit, getting my drink on, a little Crown and Coke. And I'm chilling kind of up top on the balcony, just watching all the chaos. Watching it all, drink in hand, jamming out. I'm like, holy shit, like they're going pretty hard. And then the crowd was way into it, and I met a guy up there, just a random dude, who said that this was like only his second show ever. I don't remember if he said metal show or just concert in general. I was like, holy shit, dude, you chose a pretty wild one here. He was like, he was a little shy to go down there, I think, but it was, he was like, is it always like this? I'm like, yeah, typically for bands who go hard like this, the crowd will follow. So that was really funny. I always love kind of those interactions with, the rookies, if you will. So shout out to that guy. I don't remember his name. I think it started with an M. So shout out to him. We were drinking together for a little bit, and then as the show went on, I got a little antsy. Had to get down there, especially once Machine Head got cooking. My goodness, Rob Flynn, what an absolute gem. What an absolute legend. It was fucking awesome to watch him. I mean, the guy just do his thing. Great stage presence. And we got Slaughter the Martyr going, which that might have been the most fun song. Kind of depends on... Yeah, I mean, in terms of fun... That one I got going, and so we got the circle pit rolling, doing our thing, having a blast in there, and this was a first for me. Not getting in the pit, but I will say it was a first time biff. Okay, I ate shit in the pit for the first time ever. Typically pretty good at staying on my feet, but the problem is, I think probably with the alcohol didn't help too much. I wasn't like crazy drunk or anything. I got to a pretty comfortable tipsy, but I forget how light that I am. And typically the people who get in the pit, it's either you're a pretty big hefty dude or you're kind of more on my level. There's not much in between. I mean, the occasional rowdy crazy chick will hop in there, which is always fun to see them however they handle it. Because there can be a mixed bag. It kind of can be a little bit, you want to take care of everyone in there. But I remember we were going. I always like the circle the most in terms of the pit activities. Wall of Death is really fun too, but did not have that one on that night. I got shoved when we were running, and kind of slipped and lost one foot and just kind of planted right on the booty. And I was like, oh, damn, okay. But the fine folk of the pit, they pick you up real quick. And that's another luxury of being light, is that they can get you up pretty nice and easily. Things get just going like nothing ever happened. But it was like, okay, damn, I forgot that I'm... And I also typically... I don't do this anymore because I got rid of these shoes, but I've had these really old shoes that are like, these are my concert shoes, or just kind of my shitty shoes I'll just wear. And they have like zero, I mean negative traction. So I think it was a recipe for no traction plus light body plus alcohol, just made for the perfect moment to slip and eat shit on my ass. But it was great. And for Slaughter the Martyr, fucking awesome. That song absolutely rips. Great time. Hearing Old live was pretty epic. Really love that one as well. Locust live, I mean, that was a big nostalgia hit, right? Whenever you get the first song you ever heard, it's a little bit more special to you. If you remember, again, I have this weird brain where I remember this shit. And I mean, it kind of helps if that's like one of the songs you listen to so much when you first heard it, right? Which was kind of my case with that one. And, a majority of these first time songs for a lot of these bands. But that was pretty sick. Darkness Within. I will say, let's mention Darkness Within, because that one is a little bit more of a powerful one. And Rob did that acoustic and, kind of gave a little speech before it and got a little bit... passionate, emotional, which you love, and kind of encouraging with what the song's about and everything. And so, you get a little bit emotional with it. That's another one of my favorite songs. So hearing that one, we didn't fully get the tears going, but close, watery-eyed. It was a moment. Everybody's feeling it. You get the flashlights out, the phone lights, I should say. No one's carrying flashlights these days, but. That was a great moment, too, and just a lot. This show, this is the thing about this show, was that Machine Head has so many different, the song variety, right? Like, sure, they're very heavy. They have a lot of great fucking heavy tracks, but for this show, it had a lot of those vibes where, like, yeah, 1 minute you're moshing, full-on regular metal show, and then, take it down, tone it down. Kind of like a show that has a lot of tones to it, and this one hit them all pretty good. And had a lot of the things that make live experiences really fun and enjoyable. So Machine Head was an absolutely awesome moment. Shouldn't say moment. It was a moment. It was a vibe, whatever. Great show to kick off 2024 for the streak and just the shows that year. And then again, like I said, Fear Factory and Orbit Culture, even Gates to Hell, they were fucking awesome. It was just a great 4-piece lineup. I will say that fully. I wish it had more story around it, you guys. I apologize for that, but hey, that's just how things happened. So sometimes I don't think it's going to happen too much for the 2024 year stretch here, because February is you're going to get some for that one too. And remember the things that happened in some of the recent episodes too. But that is pretty much it. I think we're going to have the shortest one here so far for the streak. January 2024, Machine Head. Great show. Love Machine Head. Love Rob Flynn. Just a good time. Love the Roseland. All of it. So, good stuff there. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for this one, you guys. As we get ready now for the next one, which will be February 2024. Quite a doozy. We have Fit for a King with The Devil Wears Prada and Fall Out Boy with Jimmy Eat World and The Main. So two pretty different vibes there, but two incredible shows for very different reasons. And some very, very unique elements to the stories with one of those. But that will be what is coming up for February, the 2024 installment of The Streak, you guys. My goodness. what a time this last year was. So I think we'll keep it short and sweet there. Nice at the 25-minute mark, still around that 30. So hope everybody is doing well, staying safe, positive out there in the big crazy world. But we will wrap it up. Don't forget, you can follow, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me at DrakeRiggs_ on Twitter and Instagram if you want all of your combat sports needs and updates and goodies. Of course, go over to uncrowned.com where we got all that. We got the interviews, my interviews here on the channel if you're watching on YouTube. And then, if you're listening on Spotify, then go over to the YouTube and subscribe to all that stuff. And you know the drill. You guys. So I appreciate you, anybody who is reflecting on this journey with me and just love some good fucking music. Party on. We love to hear it. So, all right, you guys, on that note, we will call it until the next one. Like I said, February 2024, Fit for a King, Fall Out Boy, and everyone in between. All right, take care, you guys. Until the next one.